During the current genocide in Gaza, we have seen many people around the world become Muslims, particularly those who maybe they were supporting humanitarian rights for all and they were supporting and speaking about injustice against all, and they were vocal for Palestine, and they themselves have become Muslim later on. People like Sean King, and I'm sure there's others. And now we have news about journalist and activist Robert Martin has embraced Islam. This is from the One Path Network post on social media. Australian journalist and prominent Palestine advocate Robert Martin has officially embraced Islam, marking a deeply personal turning point in his public journey. Known for his sharp media critiques and unwavering support for Palestinian human rights, Martin's reporting has resonated with audiences across Australia and abroad. His decision to enter the faith has been met with widespread warmth from the Muslim community, who view his Shahada as a powerful moment of conviction, sincerity, and alignment with the values he has long defended. And this is why I feel for many people who maybe they are not Muslims, but they support whether it's Palestinian rights or for Palestine, Sudan, or any other causes, even non-Muslim causes. If they're supporting human rights, if they're helping people who are facing injustice, speaking up about it, then that's on the right track, and that's what we advocate as Muslims. So I'd say you're halfway there, not literally, but if you become Muslim, I wouldn't be surprised. People have noticed not only are people becoming Muslims while all of this is going on, while many people would say the opposite should happen, but also the Palestinians themselves, they are, when they see facing difficulty, they're still praying to God. They're praying on rubble. When their family members pass away, they are telling them that say this to God for me, or give my greetings and salam and peace to the Prophet, or stuff like this, and other things like this, and this celebrating martyrdom and all these other things, because they see it in a positive light even in this difficulty. And this is what people are seeing, and they're seeing the strength and the faith of the Palestinians. Most of them are Muslims, but even the non-Muslims, you see their faith, particularly the Christians, who are being ignored by people who scream about Christianity, but they do not speak about the Christians in Palestine, what they're going through, and this has made people realize that people who in these kind of situations, that they're still sticking to their faith. There must be something more than what the media and certain people say, and they decide to look into it and they become Muslims. And this is another example, and hopefully we see many more examples, and hopefully he's the reason why many others in Australia are given da'wah and they also look into Islam. It's something positive to see, and people like to say things must be wrong with Islam, because wherever you look, Muslim majority countries are under attack. They're not attacked by Muslims most of the time, they're attacked by other people. So it's nothing to do with Islam. It's not our fault that certain people are evil, vermin, khabith, and they want to do certain things, and then you want to say, oh, Muslims are bad, that's what they're doing it to them. With that logic, would you say during the Holocaust that Jewish people were bad? You were not going to say Jewish people were bad, because they were not bad. Or any other time where other people were harmed, or during slavery where the slaves were bad, or other people, they were not bad. So to say Muslims are bad, that's what they're facing, all of these things, is absolutely unacceptable and is a logical fallacy, and it's not an argument. And this is an example, and you're seeing Muslims all over the world giving da'wah, and they're trying their best to spread the truth and remove falsehood. But what's made it easier, people they don't need any arguments, they don't need any misunderstandings changed. All they are doing is looking at what's happening, and that's enough. And we are told often that non-Muslims they might not look into Islam, they might not look into the books and whatever. They will see Muslims, their neighbors, the people at the workplace, in the shopping center, whatever, and they will get their Islam from this way. They're just looking at you, and if they see something, then they will be attracted towards it. Similarly, they're just looking at the Palestinians and they're seeing, even in these kind of situations, how they are behaving. And this is just one example. I'm sure there's many examples that we don't know about, whether they are famous or not famous, but it's showing you Islam is still going strong and it will do so. And Islam does not need any of us. You can aid it, but it's going to win regardless. So you can choose to aid it and be part of it and gain reward, or you can choose to not aid it, but it's still going to be strong. And many people have tried to remove it 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago, more than that. They tried to remove it. It's still here. You can try what you want. It's not going to go away. You can do all of these things, and then in 1,000 years' time, people will, your ancestors or your coming generations, and you'll be the ancestor. They will not be how you are. You won't be remembered. Your pathetic racism and anti-Islam will not be remembered, and people will read history and read about people like many people today and wonder how were they, one, behaving like that, what made them behave like that, and two, how were they allowed to behave like that, and three, how could no one stop it? People like to question, why did no one stop the Holocaust, and why did so many people let it happen? And then now many people, including Jewish people, are saying, we thought, how did people allow it? And now we're seeing how people are allowing this to happen, which many people, when we said genocide, nobody believed us. Now we needed an official definition for them to believe us that it's a genocide. Now it's a Holocaust, and many people have said it's a Holocaust, including Jewish people. And you're letting it happen, and you're wondering, why did people let it happen over there in all those years ago? Look at it now. People are, they're easily manipulated, and also because they have hatred for people. That's what's the main point. Hatred. This video has gone longer than it should, but I'm still gonna say, is what hatred of people, regardless of whether you agree with them or not. Hatred of people to such an extent that you don't mind them being mistreated or killed or starved or tortured or whatever else. That's all it is. You hate them to such an extent you don't care if that happens to them. That's what happened in all those years ago, in the 1940s, 30s as well, and that's what's happening now. And this is how bad hatred for people is, just simply because they are in terms of religion. Back then it was Jewish, now it's Muslim, or based on skin color or whatever else. It shows you how hatred can impact people to do things or allow things to happen, and we're seeing it now. That many people have not even interacted with any Muslims. They have nothing. They don't know anything about Muslims. They should not have any reason to hate them. It's all ingrained into them from the media and from the people, but in reality Muslims have done anything but good to them. So, and I've gone longer than I should, but this is my main point. Muslims are not doing anything wrong to them. So many people, they have not even met Muslims enough to even understand them, to have dealings with them. They have no reason to hate them because they haven't dealt with them to get any sort of hatred. It's just because based off what the media tells you, what certain people tell you, and because of that you hate them without meeting them, and then you're okay with ignoring what's happening to them. This is what it would have been like all those years ago. Many people would not have met any Jewish people or known them or dealt with them enough to know them and get on a personal level. But because of what they're fed by the media, I don't know what the media was like then. They might have had newspapers and radios, whatever. But they're convinced that whatever happened to them needed to happen, just like they're convinced what's happening now should happen. When both cases, it shouldn't have happened then, and it shouldn't happen now.